Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we check out some awesome programs that took place recently at the East Brunswick Public Library. First we welcome Nature Nick and his exotic traveling zoo of some furry and not so furry friends. Then we welcome back Joseph Bodner of Bodner's Auction Sales for the annual What's It Worth program, where residents can bring items to be appraised by a professional. We have coverage from Introduction to Ballroom Dancing class, led by instructor Manny Rosales, and we have information on an upcoming job fair that will take place here at the East Brunswick Public Library. We also head to Churchill Junior High School, where the East Brunswick High School Lady Bears volleyball team presented a check to a representative of Susan G. Komen. The team raised over $3,000 through their annual Pink Out Volley for the Cure charity game. So stay tuned. This Week in East Brunswick starts now.
My name is Nick Jacinto, better known as Nature Nick. I do an animal show, and I'm here at the East Brunswick Library with my traveling zoo doing my show. Well, what I do is I specialize in really exotic animal shows, really animals that you're not going to see anywhere else in any other animal shows or reptile shows, even zoos. So some of the animals I brought today have a female kangaroo, have a monkey, have this little girl, have a three-banded armadillo that's here today. Only armadillo that can curl into a ball, but all very rare animals that you're really not going to see anywhere else, definitely not this close. Well, what I try to move away from is having a boring show, which I think at least everybody can remember or recall seeing some sort, not even an animal show, just anyone that came to school, it was just boring. So I do try to plug the entertainment a little bit and keep the kids interested a little bit more using the magic as a tool and a prop.
Just about every reptile in the world hatches out of what? Who can tell me? They hatch out of, yes, an egg, right? But for a reptile egg to hatch, they need a couple of things. You know what the first thing any reptile egg will need inside of their nest is the right amount of bedding. They can't roll around the way a bird egg can. So I actually have my handy-dandy paper towel. I'm going to take that and put that into a reptile nest. And the most important thing for any reptile egg to hatch would be the right amount of heat. I'm going to add a little bit of heat. After about 2 months, a reptile is ready to crawl out and hatch. Watch carefully. Here we go. This is our first animal.
You know, I do try to push conservation, endangered species, but just the fact that they know that these animals exist. I mean, you could pull out an animal like this, and adults don't even know what it is, let alone an armadillo, and they know that it's, and now after seeing my show, they know this is an actual creature that shares this planet. So that's really what I strive for more than anything else.
Boys and girls, would you like to meet another reptile that I brought? Okay. Have some bad news, though, about this reptile. Little different than the milk snake we saw a little while ago. Do you know why? Little bit more dangerous. You know what makes this next reptile so dangerous? You know what? Let me just take out his box. You'll see what I'm talking about. This reptile that I have right here happens to be extremely venomous or poisonous. Let's see if I can reach it nice and slowly and carefully. You're doing great so far. Oh. I think I have him. Let's see if I can get him. There he is! Always seems to do that. There we go. He's not real. Just making sure everybody's still awake, okay? You were looking a little sleepy.
I did my undergrad in teaching. When I got out about 10 years ago, the market wasn't that great for teachers, elementary school teachers at least. And this was always a hobby of mine, a lifelong passion. And once I got out of college and couldn't get a teaching job, I really pursued it full time, and it just grew and ballooned from that point. Well, I think with anyone, not even working with animals, but even just following your passion, if you know you have something that you enjoy, just stick with it and do it. I mean, I see so many people and adults that just give up, and they go through a traditional track in life and really give up on their passion, kind of push it to the sideline. So with me, what I've done is I always try to crucible my passion and work it in and never forget it. So that's the best advice I can give for young children that want to work with animals or anything else in life. We had Lulu, the giant red kangaroo, Tarzan, the squirrel monkey, the American alligator boots. We had the Mexican raccoon, or coati, which is that was Pinocchio. Candy cane, the milk snake, Furry, the tarantula, and Warlock, the Eurasian eagle owl. The best way in this day and age in 2015 is naturenick.com. You can call me. Won't be guaranteed that I'll pick up. So if you go to naturenick.com and there's a link to my email. But yeah, naturenick.com. It'll has a little promo video, has pictures. It'll give you really a visual idea of what I do. It's just a great turnout today. Great turnout, which is always good. And I think we had a lot of fun today.
Now, I'm going to let everyone in on a secret. Every single show I do, I have to give him his favorite treat. Do you know what it is? Let's see if I can get one out. I'm pretty sure I grabbed one before I started. Marshmallows, that's his favorite treat. But I don't want to give this to him when he first comes out. So you know what I think I'll give him? Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide it in the pocket on my shirt. That way he can't get to it until I'm ready to take it out and offer it to him. So let's see if I can get Pinocchio. Come on now, Pinocchio. Have a few people want to see you. Come on now. So this is Pinocchio. Oh my gosh. I guess I should have buttoned that pocket before I took him out.
Sold $400 in the bag. Thank you, man, for coming today. We appreciate it. Hi, I'm Joe Bodner of Bodner's Auction Sales. I run auctions at the New Jersey Convention Center in Edison, New Jersey. I'm here at the East Brunswick Library for the Friends of the Library annual What's It Worth presentation. Basically what happens today is we have tons of people, generally about 100 people, who bring in antiques and collectibles and wants to find out, are they rich or are they going to go home poor? We never know what they're going to bring. We've seen things come through that are only worth maybe a couple dollars, and we've seen things come through in the thousands of dollars. So it's always wonderful to come out and see exactly what everybody has, and we're hoping that somebody wins big today. That's how I always look at it. It's always a pleasure to be here. We're going to learn a lot, hopefully, about what you have and what is hidden in your house or what you might think is worth money. And I'm going to give you a few tips. We'll take some questions and answers, and then we'll proceed to actually appraising your items. Bottom line is, what's a true antique? We always ask this question. Anybody know what a true antique is? How old does it have to be? 100 years. It has to be 100 years. Is it worth money just because it's 100 years old? No. That's what I tell everybody. Just because it has age or it's old does not make it worth money. That's really the bottom line. And what we've seen a trend today, I mean, we've seen it, I'm sure if you guys watch the road show and you watch TV, this and that, I love the new road show where they have what it was 20 years ago and what is it today, and almost 80% of what you see on there has come down in price. And that is true. It's a changing market. We are a market based upon emotion, and people are always buying back memories. And a lot of people who are buying and spending money are in their 20s and 30s and their 40s, and they remember things from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So we see a big push in collectibles from those time periods. I sell a lot of stuff from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Now with my auction house, we deal with estate liquidation, personal property, changes of life. That's how I always like to describe it. Whether you're moving from the big house and you're moving into a gated community that's a lot smaller because all the kids have moved out, that's one change where we might be selling off some of the things for your house. Someone passes away, divorce, all types of different things. That's what I like to see. Changes of life is how we basically get involved in your life when selling stuff. We sell single items, this, that, and everything else, but we do a lot of estate liquidation, and we deal with a lot of hoarders these days. And hoarders, I'll be honest with you, the hoarding market is great for us, and we love it. We love those hoarders out there. What I see trending in today's market, what I've seen over the course of the last year, antiques are a little bit down, if not in some cases a lot down. But still, in the antique world, the top 10% of collections are still have value. You know, because if you look at anything you're collecting, whether it's period furniture or if it's Americana or Victorian glass or what have you, there's tons of certain things out there of the same type of thing. Those are definitely down. But in every type of collectability, there's something that's very rare, very special. And those particular things are still holding ground in today's marketplace. And especially if we have an entire collection, what I've seen, if, you know, we might take 5 items from somebody and we offer it at our auction and it brings whatever. However, if we have a collection and there's 200 of the same type of item or 300 of the same type of item, it always has to do a little bit better. And the top 10% of those collections are still retaining its value or still holding ground in today's marketplace. But the reality is, it's a changing marketplace. You know, how do you research these items? You know, people always ask that. You know, how do you know so much, or how do you find out about this? Or I tried to research this and I couldn't find it. coming to an event like this is definitely something that you would look at. Going online, how do you search online? I do a lot of appraisal work where we do written appraisals, and we sign off on what we value something. You do eBay searches. If you look at eBay, you'll see thousands of items on eBay. Well, what's the real price? What I always say is you really got to do a 90-day search. Look at what's completed and what it actually sold for, and take the average of what it's been selling for consistently within that 90-day search. And that might not even give you the answer, but it'll give you a close thought process of what maybe your item is valued at.
Okay. What we have here is a pearl necklace. What I always tell people, some people always say, how's it a real pearl or a fake pearl or what have you? I don't even know how to explain it, but if you were to take pearls and put them to your teeth, it would have a distinct shelly type of feel towards your teeth. It gives me chills. But when you put it up to your teeth, and if you put plastic ones or celluloid ones to it, you'll see the difference right away of a real pearl to a fake pearl. Because there are fake pearls out there that look fantastic, but they are definitely fake. These are real. They're freshwater cultured pearls. It's got a great clasp on it. It's got a diamond clasp with a cone gold clasp, but it's just a different type of clasp. You don't see a clasp like that all the time. Usually you see a typical kind of filigree Victorian one that comes with these. There again, I would probably put this in the same time period of that 1920, 1930 era, somewhere in that time frame. Pearls aren't as desirable as they used to be. I would say at auction there again, you're probably looking at maybe $200 to $300. There was a time when they were bringing $600, $700 a strand, $800 a strand. I just don't see that anymore. I would feel very comfortable telling you $200 to $300 at auction is going to be very realistic. What she has here is a felt doll. This was made in England by Nora Wellings. And what's this? It's a boy doll, and you don't see many boy dolls, and that does make it rare. I guess even says here she is vintage Welling English policeman Bobby doll, and it's from the 1930s, and all that is definitely true. It's definitely from the 1930s. It's a Bobby doll, and what's nice about it is there again, it's a boy doll versus a girl doll, and there are people that just collect boy dolls. Felt dolls are definitely a little bit more desirable as well, but there again, what she said, she believed that he was asking, or this particular person was asking about 125 on Etsy for it. And I'd say at my auction, it's probably going to sell between 40 and 80, 30 to 60, 40 to 80, somewhere in that price range it would sell for. All right, so what we have here is a 14 karat flower rose pin. I'm not sure which one did it, but there's a leaf here. Oh, there it is, I got it. So the story she would say is her mom would wear it, and as they would drink and get drinker, the bud would open and open and open and open and open. So when it was full blown, you knew how much she had to drink. But it's great. What a great pin! It's a pin it's operating pin that opens and closes with a rose. It's 14 karat gold. It's got diamond in the center. All diamonds in the center. Signed by company Robert Altman, which I believe is out of New York. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're out of New York. A very, very unusual pin. What's nice is it's a functioning pin. It's mechanical. It's got diamonds and gold, and it's very heavy. So just in gold weight, there's got to be $300-400 in gold, just because how heavy it is. And then the diamonds, there's probably about a half a carat, 3/4 carats in diamonds, but they're smaller diamonds, so the diamonds don't have a tremendous amount of value. But being as mechanical and it's diamonds and it's signed, I would think $500 to $700 there again, somewhere in that price range, because it's very unusual. I think it would be very sought after. It may be as much as $1,000 on a good day, but there again, it's very unusual. Where do you see a three-dimensional flower that opens and closes? It's very cool. So it has a lot more, in my opinion, both pieces have a lot more value because of what they are versus just melting it down for the gold. Now, what you have here is compiled a really nice history of this particular soldier from start to finish. In my opinion, I think it's something that would be very sought after by many collectors.
Today I'm going to be teaching an intro class to the ballroom. Not everybody has a way to get to a dance studio, learn how to dance from friends, things like that. So through the library, I'd like to teach people who don't have any way to do that, people who might think they don't have enough rhythm or might think they're not good enough. I say everyone can dance, and I'll teach you how. That's what we're going to be doing today.
Today I came here for this ballroom. It is awesome, and this is the initial preliminary classes. It's really good. I enjoy it.
Today we'll be going into probably some merengue and into some swing, and then last hour try to do maybe some practice, and I'll give some demonstrations.
Hello, I'm Karen Parry, Manager of Information Services at the East Brunswick Public Library. I'm joined today by Assemblywoman Nancy Pinkin. Nancy's also from East Brunswick. Welcome, Assemblywoman.
Thank
and
you.
we're here to talk today about a regional job fair that will be happening at the library on Tuesday, December 1st. So, Assemblywoman, could you please tell me a little bit about what is the purpose of the job fair, who will be there, and what is the role that you hope to accomplish from the job fair?
Well, number one, we want to be sure that people are able to have a job. I mean, if you're going to prosper and be able to take care of your family, the most important thing is having some means of supporting them. So, you know, the economy, we went through a period where it was very difficult. Many people were having difficulty getting jobs, and the library actually was able to deal with that by coming up with ways to not only help their own budget, but to help people in the public by having economic development programs and having the business center and being involved with businesses in the community and with people that were looking for jobs to come in and get resumes and have them critiqued and get services to help individuals to get a job. So we thought we would parlay our ability to bring people together and have a job fair and combine that with the library, since you're already doing the business development and the work with the individuals to get resumes and to get assistance with how best to apply for a job and to have the skills to be successful at getting a job. So we're fortunate to be able to now have the attention to get to it. It takes a lot of time and staff to organize it. We're working with the chambers, the regional Middlesex County Regional Chamber and some of the other chambers. I'd like to also bring in some of the diversity chambers. We have an Asian chamber, so we have a number of chambers that are culturally based as well. And so I like to leverage all groups together so that we can have a greater outcome whenever I can, and this seems like the perfect opportunity to do that. But our bottom goal is to make sure people are employed. You know, we have young people coming out of college. Many of them have a lot of debt. They don't have the ability to get a good enough job to not only sustain themselves, but to pay off their debt. And we have people that are at the end of the spectrum where maybe they're, you know, a little bit later in their career, late 40s, 50s, or even 60s, that have been downsized because of their skills, but yet they have a lot to offer and they still need to sustain themselves and their family. So, you know, all of these different groups are the groups that anything we can do to boost their ability to get a job, we're happy to try to do that.
That sounds like such a beneficial program to the community. Please tell me a little bit about who will be participating and from what industries.
Well, this is going to cover a diverse employer group, so it will be, you know, there's a lot of jobs in healthcare right now, so it will include JFK Medical Center. I believe it will include some of the home health. Lorelli is an employment agency. It will include them. Eden Autism Program will also have a booth there. We will have some utility companies. Most people think of utilities as really good jobs, so we do have South Jersey Gas and a number of other utilities that will be participating. We will also have somebody from Rutgers University with a small business development program will also be participating. We've been trying to do more with Rutgers just because it's a great asset for Middlesex County. So any way we can pull them into the business community to benefit our residents, we're trying to work with them on that. We also have Bright Horizons, the daycare center, Rutgers University Extension School, and any businesses that want to participate, there's no fee for them. There's no fee for the individuals that are looking for a job. This is totally free on all ends. It's just really bringing together the resources. Any businesses that want to sign up and have those jobs that people are looking for that they can't find somebody to do, we would like them to reach out to our office as well.
That's great. Nancy, so there's no cost to attend and no cost for potential employers to attend?
Right, there's no cost at all.
And let me just ask you one other question. Where can people find out more about this exciting job fair?
Well, they can contact my legislative office. Our number is 732-548-1406. They could look it up online, and I think the number's going to be on the bottom of the screen today. But they can contact our office. We'll be happy to help them, whether they're a vendor, if there's somebody who wants to. You know, I hear all the time people, I think even in East Brunswick Township, they were looking for a mechanic for a long time. And people think there are no jobs, but there are jobs out there, but we just have not connected the people with the jobs. So, you know, it just really helps people to come together to have that opportunity.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope the community will all come out on Tuesday, December 1st for the job fair.
And by the way, I want to say that you don't have to be from East Brunswick to come to the job or to be an employer participating.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Assemblywoman.
Thank you.
Every year we get together and we do a fundraising event for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and all proceeds go to Susan G. Komen, the Central and South Jersey. The girls worked very hard to put this all together. Mother Seton, this is her second year that we're playing with them. Well, we start actually planning this in the summer. We start sending letters out to local vendors to see what they'll donate as far as the baskets. And we raffle those off, and then all the proceeds go directly to the charity. We also do 50-50. We do T-shirt sales and food and vendor sales. So I love giving back. Anytime that I can see, you know, an opportunity to raise money, especially for breast cancer awareness, because there's so many people out there that are suffering and that need help, and this is a great organization that will help those in need. It's a message to the girls is that, you know, that it's always good to pay it forward. Be out there, do charitable work, do things to help other people when it's needed, and they see our enthusiasm as adults, and then they carry it on into adulthood as well.
Hi, my name is Christian Azzo. I'm the Supervisor of Physical Education and Athletics here at East Brunswick. I'm here at the Volleyball Seniors, and we'd like to talk to them a little bit about the Win the Battle, Volley for a Cure, their pink game that they put on. So, girls, what kind of legacy do you want to put on this game for the future?
For the future, we hope that our underclassmen, that we have inspired them to make a big event and be able to use volleyball in order to raise money for women who have breast cancer. And as we are all girls ourselves, this is very relatable, and I'm sure we all know somebody who has been affected by breast cancer. So we hope to continue doing this in the future.
Thank you. You did a great job raising awareness. Now tell us some of the things you did to prepare for this night.
Well, we're constantly promoting to sell T-shirts, and we're getting people to come to our game and maybe buy snacks. And we sell raffle tickets for raffle baskets, and we try to get donators, whatever we can, to support the cause.
You did a great job doing that. It was a great night. Anything else anybody wants to tell us about that night that you really want to talk about?
We would like to thank everybody who came out and helped support us raise money for breast cancer, and we hope that everybody who came out this year can help come out next year.
Okay. Well, thank you, girls. We really appreciate all the time and efforts for you and the Booster Club. You did a great job this year, and we hope to build it for the future. Thank you very much. We're here now with Sally Shepherdson from the Susan G. Komen Central and South Jersey, the Executive Director. Sally, tell us a little bit about Susan G. Komen.
Well, Susan G. Komen in Central and South Jersey is 22 years old. We started with a Race for the Cure, raising money for research, and we've since evolved to be an affiliate that covers all 13 counties in Central and South Jersey, and we still raise money for research, but now we also put money back in the community, and we provide life-saving mammograms, diagnostic tests, access to treatment, and also breast health education. So we've really grown.
That's great, and the girls are very excited to get involved into this cause, so we thank you so much for being a part of this and doing everything that you've done for the group. Can you tell us a little bit about the story you told the girls?
Oh, sure. I wanted to share with the girls how Komen started, because I think sometimes we forget, and it really was on a promise, and it sounds maybe light or simple, but Susie Komen was 34 when she lost her life to breast cancer, and her older sister, Nancy Brinker, promised her, per Susie's wishes, that she would do everything in her power to stop breast cancer so that no other woman would have to go through what she went through. And Nancy kept her promise, and she founded the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation in honor of and memory of her sister, Susie. She went out and began to raise money, because she knew she had to raise money for research. And then she began to look at what was happening today. I mean, research is for tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow is sooner. But there were also women in need and men in need today. And so the split came with providing some on-the-ground today, now resources to save lives, and also directing money to research to eventually just end it forever. And that's a promise that she's kept for 35 years.
Well, that's great, and we're glad that we found that promise and that our girls were able to help out so much. So again, I'd like to thank the girls, the Booster Club, your foundation, and everyone for their support for this event.
Well, we can't do it without the power of girls and their parents and the support of the school. And to me, it's especially important to get young girls involved, because we're going to hand the baton over. I'm going to hand the baton over, and it's going to be girls just like this who are going to carry it forward.
That's great. Once again, thank you very much. Have a good night.